This is what Broncos fans are like. Oh, come on! Isn't that what this whole season's been like? The scene from Liar, Liar. Nathaniel Hackett, you liar. You said you're going to score points. Instead, you can't do much of anything. Unless it's against the Chiefs, but you're not facing the Chiefs this weekend, of course, with the Arizona Cardinals. Against the Denver Broncos. It's time for Orange and Blue today. It is Cecil, Lammey, soon, hopefully soon to be joined by Andrew Mason. Listen, this is not real fun to talk about Arizona and Denver. It's like, okay, Colt McCoy, everybody. Yeah, there you go. How's that going to work out? You know, like, how are things going to be looking there for the Arizona Cardinals? I guess they'll try to use James Conner. We'll get more into the game preview probably on tomorrow's show, but it's something to look forward to and say, you know what? The Broncos should win this one. You know, what does it mean? Does it keep Nathaniel Hackett around? No, I don't think any of that's true. Chris says, what's good? What's up, Chris? What's up, Broncos country, right? You want this thing to look better and you want to feel better about this team. So they should beat Arizona with a backup quarterback, with a Vance Joseph defense. Like there's opportunities here for the Broncos to, I don't even want to say get right. I'm not exactly sure how to describe this game other than they should win. You know, what does that mean? I don't think it really means much of anything. A worse draft pick for the Seattle Seahawks, right? Steven mentions no moral victories this week. Yeah, an actual victory. That'd be nice. And, you know, if they lose to Arizona, which God forbid they lose to a Colt McCoy-led Arizona Cardinals team. But if they would they fire Nathaniel Hackett? I mean, probably not. You can talk to other head coaching candidates with 2 weeks left in the regular season. So maybe after Christmas, but then it's the day after Christmas. So are you sending a message? They're worried about the message they're sending to other coaches. Hey, Merry Christmas. Here's your pink slip, Nathaniel Hackett. Like, that's the thing. Paul says here, win. Yeah, it's a win. It's a win. I think it has more to do with the players now, which I'm glad we're to this point of the season because I don't need to think about this coaching staff. Ajaire Evero's fine. Dwayne Stukes, you know, not real successful. I like him as a guy, but not real successful. You know, I could run down the list of coaches that's just problematic here for the Broncos, including Nathaniel Hackett at the top. But I think what you do over these last 4 games is you see who wants to be here. You know, who's going to be part of this team's future, who's going to put forth that extra effort, because again, it's not Kansas City. So you can't really rely on like they're going to get up for the Chiefs. You're going to get up because you got 17 games and you got to put film out for the other 31 teams out there or for the Broncos to choose to keep you. I choose Andrew Mason. And Mace, you're one of the few people that will understand that reference because is there anything greater than Lisa Simpson and you know, I choose you. Mm-hmm, that's right.
Second time I've thought of Ralph Wiggum today because
well, it's the first time.
Okay, the first time was I brought a banana as my snack to Nashon in the Broncos media room today.
Okay.
And I looked at the banana. I thought to myself, "Go banana!" Was when they're like they're racing, you know, fruits down the aisle of a bus, and
right.
You know, go apple, go orange, and Ralph puts a banana down on the ground. Go banana.
Okay, and if by happenstance this Chewbacca 1977 Chewbacca action figure on a card, unpunched by the way, Mace, if that happens to fall off the wall, I can say, I bet my Wookiee.
Oh my gosh.
Although it's in a case. So, there you go.
The genius of Ralph Wiggum.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Very much in line. How are you, by the way?
I'm okay. We'll talk off air, but like I'm okay. I'm fine enough to do the show. Well, you know, that's fine. Everyone's going through stuff. Everyone stay strong. All that kind of good, positive stuff. But what I said.
Did you see all the? Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
No, mine's in. We'll get to mine at the end of the show. Yours.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I was just gonna say I began today's show by just saying like, if they beat the Cardinals, I don't think it makes this massive statement, like they're going to keep Nathaniel Hackett. I just think it's good for the players. Like I'm projecting a win, which I didn't think I would do, honestly, the rest of the way. But, no Kyler Murray, got Colt McCoy out there. I'm projecting the Broncos to win. And, Mace, I don't think we need to fearmonger or like stir the pot. Like, now they're going to keep Hackett. Like, no, I mean, they're going to win, and that's good for the players.
Yeah, and look, it's not like you had draft pick benefit from losing anyway. So just go ahead and win, put forth the earnest effort. I mean, if you're 3-10 next year, the conversation is a lot different. In the moment, and then Chris notes here, can this game convince the Broncos to get an actual backup and move on from Brett Rippon? Look, Russell Wilson appears to be in stage 4 of the phase 4 of the post-concussion protocol because he saw limited work today, which meant that he did get some reps in the team periods. So that puts him on pace to be cleared. Now, then it becomes a decision of whether the Broncos play him or not, but he's going to, unless there's a setback between now and Sunday, he's going to be cleared in the protocol. So
Right. So, again, we're not going to fearmonger. We're not going to talk about stuff because we talk about everything. We don't shy away from anything, as evidenced by our Lauren Landau conversation. Man, I made some people upset on Twitter yesterday, which is fine. They'll be all right, Mace.
People are looking for somebody to blame. And again, like we said, sometimes things do happen and nobody's at fault. Okay. And I think more and more as I analyze this, are the injury rates concerning? Yes. Is this entirely at the feet of Lauren Landau? No, it isn't. As Zach By would say, two things can be true at the same time. And those things are both true. And look, I can tell you, if the Broncos let go of Lauren Landau, a lot of players are still going to be going to Landau Performance.
Yeah, exactly. A message from Mace is out of there. Holy cow. Where'd Mace go? There we go. How about that? Just me again. Mace will be back. I'm sure he'll be back. Sometimes you close a window and you don't mean to, and you're like, whoops. Technology, everybody. But yeah, I mean, everyone will be all right. I know I almost got ratioed on Twitter. Oh my God. Because people are like, you're an elitist. Because I put out there on Twitter, like, hey, if you think it's all Lauren Landau's fault, you don't know football, you don't have sources in the building, and you don't talk to players, not only with the Broncos, but anyone else. So I got accused of all sorts of things, elitist, and this is the problem with the fan and all that. I'm like, you'll be fine. Everybody will be fine. Yeah, a couple people called me elitist, and then they were like, the fan is elitist. What?
Huh?
All right, baby. All I know is this isn't at Lauren Landau's feet. And if you are saying that, you're highly misguided.
I mean,
sideways, Mace. Now you're sideways. Oh, boy. I don't know how that works. Yeah, there we go. We'll figure it out. We'll get it going. We'll figure it out. We'll get it going. But anyway, it's not about me or Twitter. Twitter's stupid. Okay. Like, and I had this take before Elon Musk bought it. Let's be controversial. Like, I think that for the large part, it's echo chambers. Like, I don't need someone to come on and tell me how great the Broncos are or aren't. I don't need someone to be negative about what this team is or isn't. I don't really need Twitter. I'm just going on my usual Twitter rant, Mace, about like, it's just an echo chamber. If people want to hear something, they'll find it on Twitter. And if they don't like what they hear, they rebel. And it's like, okay, you let's just be logical. Let's be rational. Let's be reasoned. Let's talk about the Broncos, man. Like, they're going to win on Sunday, in my opinion. And I think that's good for the players. So whatever.
Yeah. I mein, again, like I said, losing doesn't do you any good. There's not the draft. There's not the top draft pick benefit here. And look, I mean, I in that locker room, I don't see a team that is quitting. I don't see a team quitting on its coaches. I don't see a team quitting on each other. I do. Now, that being said, it is an injured team. When you're signing a wide receiver and he has to wear number 41 because there are no numbers available from 0 to 9, unless you want to unretire number 7, from 10 to 19, unless you want to unretire number 18, and from 80 to 89, because of it, because you have so many guys on injured reserve that are chewing up some of those numbers. I mean, 41 is like a running back. That's like a third team running back. That was Kenny Young, a linebacker last year. And
Right.
I use that as an example to illuminate just how injured this team is.
Right.
It is. And yeah, does it come back to Lauren Landau in some people's eyes? Yes, I would argue no. I mean, Lauren Landau's training is not why Tim Patrick got hurt. It's not why Javonte Williams got hurt. It's not why Garrett Bowles got hurt. I mean, you just want to go down the list here. I mean, injuries happen in football. Broncos have had some bad luck. Now, that being said, with Randy Gregory, who it looks like should be back in some kind of role on Sunday, with Randy Gregory, it's fair to evaluate what went into signing him because of his injury history. That's a fair discussion to have.
Yes.
But Randy Gregory did not suffer a knee injury, undergo a scope because of specific training methods. That's just not the case. So
No,
Carl Payne.
Yeah, Carl Payman, number 41. I always think of 41, and I used to do this game. I haven't done it in a while, but I would go on a microwave, warming up a breakfast burrito or whatever. And when it would count down into the running back numbers, so starting with 49, I would start like Anthony Richardson, so I just like boom, 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 all the way down to 1, and just do a player's name. So 41 for me was always Eric Pegram. Remember Eric Pegram? He was like North Texas, right? Was he North Texas? I can't remember where Eric Pegram went to school.
I don't remember where he went to school, but I remember him with a 40. I remember with the Falcons, pardon me.
Yes, Falcons. Yeah. So 41 to me was always Eric Pegram. But as Jose references, like Carl Payma. Like, yeah. So, yeah. And I'll assume Freddie Swain got 41. Yes.
Freddie Swain got 41, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Holy
I don't want to take our Lord's name in vain, but like seriously, that's terrible, dude. That's terrible.
But this is where we are right now.
That's how many guys are hurt. You don't have any numbers left.
I mean, it's funny because I just started scrolling down the roster, like, yeah. And like, holy cow. I mean, it just dawns on you. Or wait, no. My bad. I'm wrong. Freddie Swain has number 86. It's Caden Davis, 41.
Returning Caden Davis, 41.
Who has, cut, brought back. They don't know how to quit Caden Davis. Of course, why would you want to quit on the guy who's always the first one out there? And oh, by the way, even for practice, sometimes when we get done with the coordinators and we start seeing some players get on the field, then they shoo us away and then they bring us back later and in for the media viewing. Caden Davis is still the first guy out there.
Yep.
Caden Davis. By the way, number 41 with the Broncos, you know who I think of first and foremost?
Who do you think of?
Rob Lytle.
Ooh, that's a damn good one.
Going into the Wayback Machine. Rob Lytle, part of the 1977 team, a rookie in 1977, actually scored the first Super Bowl touchdown in the history of the Denver Broncos.
Okay, I feel like on this show we can have a nerd off every day. Don't make it weird. Anyway, was Greg Lewis 41? Was Greg Lewis 41? Remember him, Washington running back, little guy? Yes. Yeah, I think he was 41 with the Broncos. I'm just trying to remember all the rookie cards I had. I'm sitting on a garage full of Greg Lewis rookie cards if anybody wants them. PSA 10s. I don't know, but
so
I looked at my old football cards. I was like, I could throw away most of those, but I don't want to.
And Caden Davis wearing number 41. Anthony Harris had the number before he got cut. And so other names here, and I am looking this up, so this is not off the top of my head. Isaac Yiadom, remember him a few years ago?
Yep, love him.
3rd round pick, right?
Yep.
3rd round hasn't been very good for the Broncos over the years.
Hey, Deshaun Hamilton just got picked up.
Good for Deshaun. Good for him. He was 4th rounder that year. Let's see. Kenny Young last year, remember him? Linebacker. We've already noted him in this. The aforementioned Carl Payma, Rob Lytle, Greg Lewis. Jamar Johnson did wear 41 last year briefly too.
Okay.
Gerald Garcia Williams in 2017. And remember Big Boss, Devontae Bosby.
Wow.
Number 41.
Yes.
So, like, holy cow, you start looking at the number of people in the last few years. So on the 53-man roster actually playing in a game, you've had 6 guys wear 41 since 2017. So if Caden Davis gets out there, and I doubt he will, he's the low man on the totem pole at running back or wide receiver right now. But
right. Looks like a running back. And I say this lovingly, but God, I hope not. If Caden Davis gets out there, you got some problems. You got more injuries. So anyway, we did have a very good question here earlier in the chat room. We appreciate everyone for showing up every day. Orange and Blue today, 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And this one comes in from Wes. Wes is our dude. Look at Wes. Is Russ going to be scared to run if he comes back this week? That's a fair and legitimate question that I know fans have been talking about.
Yeah, and consciously, I'm sure he's going to say he's not scared. It's a subconscious thing, though. It is something in the moment. Like if you're thinking about running, what goes through your mind in that moment? Are you thinking about the hit that you absorbed last week that left the welt on your forehead and left you in the concussion protocol? Or are you just thinking about get the yards right now? What is the primary instinct going through your mind? I honestly, Cease and Wes, with the question, I don't know that we're going to get an answer to that unless we see the exact situation happening, because that's something that's happening on a subconscious level.
Right. But that lump on his head, I talked to Orlando last night. He's never seen that. I'd be hard pressed to think of any, and we've all seen real bad concussion. Javid Best, remember that one? His arms were like this.
Yeah,
I thought Javid Best was dead. He landed on the top of his head, like jumping into the end zone.
Yep.
Ask Priest Holmes. That's not a good idea. But anyway, I've never ever, and Orlando hadn't either, seen anyone with that large lump on there. I mean, it's just remarkable. Remarkable. I don't think he should play, but he's going to play.
This is good. Well, I think there's actually one person who could keep him from playing.
Who is that?
It's Greg Penner. Because think of it this way. There may be some more things at play than just whether Russell Wilson passes through the protocol or not. We may be talking about the perception. And there's that very dramatic image of the bump on Russell Wilson's forehead. There's the up close where you can see his eyes. We've already kind of dealt with this with Tua Tagovailoa down in Miami earlier this season.
Right.
This is one where it may well be somebody at a very high level in the organization, like as high as you can get, that says something to the effect of, what happens if he goes out there and gets another concussion? What is going to be said? What is our culpability as an organization in this? And that's why that's the question mark here right now. Russ is, if you put it up to Russell Wilson, he's going to say, I'm going out there. Okay. I'm passed through, I'm playing. But let's just kind of extend this out a week from now. Say Russell Wilson goes out there and gets concussed. What's the number one story in the NFL in Christmas week when you have 3 games on Christmas Day? You have plenty of conversation at coffee tables and dinner tables from coast to coast and beyond.
Right.
And football is being talking about concussions.
Yes.
Right.
And the Broncos rushed Russell Wilson out there. Nathaniel Hackett's trying to save his job, and he rushed Russell Wilson. We're going to get a bunch of BS if that happens. So you said Penner. Why didn't you say George Payton? And it can be both. It can be both. Man alive. If I'm George Payton, I'm like, dude, Hackett, I love you, bro. You're not going to be here next year. Don't play Russ.
Well, the reason why I say that, I think it could be George Payton as well that says that, and it would be perfectly within his rights to say that. And I even think Nathaniel Hackett may think that too, although I think Hackett's going to more lean on the trust the player thing here, and if the play and even like the thing is, the concussion protocol gives everybody a crutch they can lean on, right? But you and I have discussed, guys know how to get around the protocol, right?
Yeah.
You dial it back on the baseline. That isn't, we're not saying anything that isn't well known in player circles. We'll tell you things like that, like how guys beat the drug test. The fellas know how to do it. Okay.
Right.
They do.
Right.
They absolutely do. These are smart men playing a game with a lot that puts a lot on you cerebrally. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they also understand the pressures, both within this game and outside of this game, like what they go through. And I understand it's a kid's game and they make millions, but like a lot of guys end up broke. A lot of guys play less than you're going to get your severance, your pay when you're done. Right. I know one of the best, I'll tell you off air, one of the best players from the 70s and early 80s, one of the best, multiple time Pro Bowler. His pension is $1,500 a month from the NFL. Who in the blank can live on $1,500 a month? College kid?
I mean,
seriously.
When I think of what the NFLPA could have fought for in this last CBA and what they actually fought for, it's a joke. To me, like the NFLPA should be fighting for greater pensions and access to health care for life. Did you know, Cecil, that if you play one day in the major leagues in baseball, one day, you have access to health insurance through Major League Baseball for the rest of your life. Okay.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Why doesn't the NFLPA fight for that? Give up. Yeah. You're going to give up some money right now, some money in salary. Okay. But you get so much more for everybody.
Well, what they did was dirty. They did it dirty, dude. And they took the super rich players and they pitted them against they took the non-rich player. And I know they're all rich, whatever. And trust me, I wish I made NFL money, but like, no, that what they did was dirty. The NFL absolutely played it to a fiddle because they took the non-rich and like they pitted the players against themselves in their own negotiations.
They basically set up a form of class warfare.
Yeah.
And the other thing also is, by and large, the NFLPA team reps are guys who've been around for a lot of years, and they've gotten big contracts. Frankly, what you need are more voices in those rooms who are making the league minimum for their experience, right?
Right.
That really are, I mean, not paycheck to paycheck, but they're making very good money. They're not making life-changing generational money, right? So they're viewing it very differently, and they're also viewing it through the prism of guys that that they know that are on practice squads and things like that. I mean, if it were up to me, like I would have been pushing for healthcare for life. I would have been pushing for greater pension. I would have been pushing for a minor league system where if you're in that minor league, you get a year of service time toward a pension, right? So if there's like a Denver Broncos 2, like or Colorado Springs Broncos, like in the G League, where every NBA team has an affiliate, then those guys are part of everything as well in terms of getting pension and getting healthcare and things like that. You're creating more jobs. You're taking care of more guys. I mean, I think that would have been worth a 10. I think for many people that would have been worth a 10% cut in salaries, to get all those kind of benefits. But it's tailored to benefit just those at the top, and I think it's kind of shameful, quite frankly.
Yes.
And that's why. Yeah. And it's not just it's the NFL and the NFLPA. I'm disappointed. I was very disappointed in both as far as how the last CBA went and what the NFLPA failed to get for its rank and file.
And they just like rushed it through. Like in 2011, there was legit concern, and obviously there was a lockout. I mean, guys just showed up like Orlando and Vaughn. They just showed up and, hey, you're now at practice. You didn't do anything in the offseason because it was all shut down.
Remember, they came in for one day.
They did come in
the
for
draft picks. Like if they were drafted, they came in for one day, met coaches, met coaches, met the media, and then that was it. We didn't see him again. We didn't see him again until late July for camp.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when they did sign the deal. I think I posted on Facebook then because I used to post more personal stuff then. And I was just like, I cried when they signed that deal because it was my job. Like football's my job. If there's no football, I don't have a job. And somebody that I like went to school with, he was older than me, but he was like, "Oh, this is a problem with America." And I just commented, I was like, "Don't be a douchebag." Like, and he's like, "Did you just call me a douchebag?" I'm like, "Yes, yeah, I did." Because hey, listen, I love America, but hey, I was going to be out of a job if there wasn't any football. But anyway,
yeah, we say all this because we love this sport. We want it to be a better place.
Right.
That's where it comes from for me. I know that's where it comes from for you as well. And be better for these players that are literally putting their bodies on the line with every rep.
Yep. To that, Andrew, I give you a Keanu kiss.
Oh, nice. Boom. Quick find. I like it.
I know. I love it. So there you go. And
I
you
almost
know what?
want to say, whoa. Like,
was he Bill or Ted? He was Ted, right?
He was Ted Theodore Logan. Bill S. Preston Esquire. And Ted Theodore Logan. Yeah.
Yes. How's it feel to be the other guy? You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know the other guy's name, but it's like
Alex Winter, I think, is the actor that played
really? Okay.
Bill S. Preston Esquire. Yeah.
Legit. My sister
and Ted was going to be shipped off to Alaskan military school, which I have jokingly threatened my daughter with that someday. Like, if you don't, hey, you got to keep doing well. If you misbehave, we're going to send you to Alaskan military school. I don't know if there's a military school in Alaska. I don't care. It's just the greatest thing to threaten your kid with.
It does. It sounds awesome. You need those things as a parent, right? It's like Santa Claus. Don't say anything else in case the kids are watching, but it's like Santa. Like, you gotta be good. Santa's always watching.
It's actually, if you really think about it, Cecil, it's straight out of Orwell, like 1984. Big Brother's watching you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Proper behavior through constant observation, right?
Yes.
I mean,
if they ever start a social credit score, I'm gonna have such a low score. I'm not gonna be able to travel. I'm not gonna be able to go anywhere. I won't be able to buy groceries. Like if they ever do that, God forbid I ever live in a world with a social credit score, because I will fail miserably. Yeah. I'll be part of the underground, Mace. That's right. Pirate radio, baby.
I'm building up my social credit by putting carts back in the corrals. When I pull into the King Supers in Greenwood Village and I see like 15 carts, and now I just go and I just start pushing them in. And by the way, like people think it's nuts that I put that on video. Whenever I put that out on social media, people go crazy for it. Like Woody Page retweeted it today.
Nice.
I mean, what the heck? I'm going to keep putting it out there because people have a visceral response to that sort of thing. But yeah, that sort of thing, I feel like my social credit's going to be okay because I'm doing something like that. So
maybe I should.
I passed the test of being fit for society. To me, the shopping cart test is the most basic test of whether you're fit for civil society or not.
That because and the parking test. Like if you're parking and you're taking up 2 spots, you're an ass.
Oh,
all right.
I see it all the time. I mean, I want to, I'm not saying go key people's cars that
never
2 spaces.
Never mess with the man's car.
No, but
now I do it, Mace. I'm a full disclosure. This is where I sound like an ass. I do it, but I also like park if I'm in my Shelby. I park way at the end. I park where nobody else parks, and I'm just like, okay, don't park next to me. And people still do. So it's just like, maybe I should just go get door dinged and whatever.
Well, I can create, and I know by the way, based on a text I got from my mom, I know my mom's watching the show right now. I have the something that a lot of people in the deep South in Florida have, which is I do tend to be one of those people who parks far away. Now, generally speaking, the reason why is shade. When it's a hot summer day in Florida, shade is so valuable that yes, you're willing to park farther away in the parking lot. I remember we'd pull up to Publix and we park like all the way in the back. And when I was 12 years old, I'm like, why are we parking so far away? But then I got it. Eventually I got it. You're going for shade. And now it's like, oh, you get a few extra steps in, right? I mean, it's just so yeah, I've become that person that intentionally parks far away. I have become in some way my parents. Love you, Mom.
Oh, there we go. Cecil Mace bogus journey. That's right. It's bogus journey every day. Excellent adventure. Excellent adventure. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I actually picked up that comic book from a collection in Colorado Springs about a month ago. I was like, I've never had this one. It's not worth anything. But anyway, enough comic book talk. More Broncos talk, and we're going to preview the game. We'll really break it down for you, but we appreciate you all riding with us through our tomfoolery. You never know where it's going to go. That's a great thing. We're going to give you good football talk, man, and we're not going to do the hot take stuff. That's bogus. You know, we're going to bring you the real information. We're going to have strong opinions, and we are going to have our, what did I call it? Nerd off, right? Nerd off. Like,
it's gonna, yeah.
Can you name the most famous number 41 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? I bet you can.
Ooh. Number 41.
I bet you can.
Oh, man, I'm going through the Rolodex here.
Oh, God. Wait, he's the wrong number. I was thinking Reggie Cobb. No, Reggie Cobb didn't wear 41. No,
Reggie Cobb was 33 and 34. Yep. He changed after 1 year.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Number 41.
Damn it. I thought it was Reggie Cobb, so now I'm wrong. I lose the nerd off today.
So well, because you got the question. You got the question wrong?
Right. Well, I asked it. Allstott was 40. Charlie chimes in. Allstott.
Right.
See, now we got people chiming in. You can be a nerd too, just like Cecil and Mace.
Yeah. Oh man. God. Okay, I got one.
Okay, who is it?
He was only there 1 year. Lorenzo Neal.
Very good.
And Lorenzo Neal, the thing is, in '98, they had a backfield that had Warwick Dunn, Mike Allstott, and Lorenzo Neal. So sometimes Mike Allstott would line up as a tailback behind Lorenzo Neal as a fullback. I mean, you talk about a lot of beef there in that backfield.
Yeah,
man alive, that was something. So yeah, that's the one for me. There may be a couple of others. I want to say they had a safety in the early '90s. It was 41.
Okay.
It would have. I'm trying to think who. So wouldn't Harry Hamilton, Robinson, Bussey, Joe King, special team. He was 41 too, and they've had others. They've had others as well, but those are the ones that come to mind. But it's not a very good number for the Bucs. I mean, Rob Lytle, like of the two teams that we discussed today, Bucs and Broncos, Rob Lytle's the best 41 by
hands
far.
Down. Yes, hands down. Clearly.
The man from Michigan. Very, very, very good man, by the way. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it was Rob Lytle who, when they were coming back in the 79 game against Seattle, greatest comeback in Broncos history, along with the San Diego game in 12. I believe Rob Lytle scored a touchdown, and he went and he ran with the ball to Bob Peck, who was the PR director through the 1970s for the Broncos, but he was dying of cancer at the time. And he was in a wheelchair, and he was in a wheelchair at field level. And I think it was Lytle that scored and then gave the ball to Bob Peck in a tribute to him before he passed away. So anyway, there's
more of the good guys need to be highlighted.
Yes. And Rob Lytle was a very good man. Yeah.
And there's a lot of good men in this league, but then all everyone talks about are the asses and the monsters like Deshaun Watson. And hey, that's what the judge called him that ruled against him, called him a monster. So whatever, don't at me, bro. Like everyone talks about that. It's like, we need to highlight the good people because there are good people in this game.
There are plenty of good people in the Bronco locker room right now too.
Yeah, very much so.
That are fighting really hard to keep their heads above water in a bad season, and they're out there doing good things. Like you got Kareem Jackson with a bunch of players taking underprivileged kids on a shopping spree over at Walmart on Monday night. You got guys that are doing really good. They're doing good things. That are using their platform in the right way. So this show's for you guys too.
Mace uses his platform to show you how to push carts back in order. Anyway,
Starts
and
with
get
a
them
little
right.
thing,
Don't put the
Cecil.
little carts with the big carts, right? Don't do that. Like the big carts go with the big carts, and the little carts go with the little carts.
Oh, I had like two. There were two, like you, because they were like, there's room for like two carts, like two carts wide. So like on the left side, I had the big carts, and on the right side, I had the small carts, and they were all pushed in, making it easier for the person that actually By the way, the person who works for the grocery store, their job is to retrieve the carts from the corrals, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that like they're going far above and beyond when they have to go chasing it off and in Neverland and whatever, right? So yeah,
Right.
you get your cart to the corral. Believe me when I say those people very much appreciate it.
He's
So
Andrew Mason.
I
He's a good citizen.
I should join cart narcs.
I was a cart boy in college when I worked at
Yeah.
Target, and I had a pager. This was the
Yeah.
90s, so like pagers were I looked like a drug dealer. I'm like, nah, I don't have any weed, bro. I just gotta go get those carts. So like,
Yeah.
don't at me. Like anyway, he's Andrew Mason. I'm Cecil Lammey. We're overdue. But anyway, everyone
So
out
long,
there,
yeah.
be safe, be kind, know that you're appreciated. He's Andrew Mason. Follow him on Twitter. I'm Cecil Lammey. Don't follow me on Twitter. Stay tuned and stay frosty.
Oh man.